How many of us have them friends?
9 to 5.
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 No sponsors.
I hate when niggas do that. Like no one is.
It's like when you watch like BT and like watching the BT reality shows and the logos or hat to cover it up with pieces of tape and shit.
I was like, oh my gosh, y'all.
Either way, we're not moving the needle on anyone's bottom line by you drinking.
Not at all.
A warm ass Bud Light. This I don't remember how to talk about this podcast. Welcome to episode 151 of 9 to 5 podcast. I am one of the hosts with the mosts, Danny.
You got Kyle
and Torrance.
I forgot how to do this because I don't know, I'm fucking sleepy and I've been eating old Thanksgiving leftovers.
Bro, I had a plate of leftovers at 2 a.m. last night.
That's good. We ate
actually I feel like that is expected of you. You know what I mean? Like
I was up. I was watching Chopped. It's how I was like, I'm hungry now. So food did I eat when I got good leftovers in the fridge.
Yeah, I feel like I think at least, I won't say at least, but realistically, your leftovers should last the weekend.
Oh, we have so many leftovers because Paige made like a 20-pound turkey.
That's a lot.
Plus side. We bought the turkey on Monday. So it was like she decided like Sunday or Saturday she wanted to cook. So there were only, at Trader Joe's fresh turkeys, they only had 20 pounds and up, and there were only like 5 left. So we got the smallest one that was left.
Damn.
But yeah, she made a bunch of shit. I went over to my parents' house and got to-go plates or whatever. So brought some sides back here. So we have so much food. I made some greens. So we have like so much food. Like I made turkey BLTs. I'm just trying to diversify.
Figure out different ways
to
eat that shit.
That's so funny. Yeah, it's definitely the whole weekend. You got to finesse and finagle, but we had dinner off that last night. So we actually didn't eat any leftovers today.
Oh, that's nice.
But I feel like if you eat Friday, Saturday, you eat multiple times on Thursday, of course, at least 3 probably. Then you eat Friday and then Saturday. That's like a decent run. If you can make it a Sunday, that's elite. Then by Monday, I'm not gonna want it anymore.
Yeah, by Monday, I'm tired. By Monday, I'm like
diversifying even what I'm putting on my plate each time. You know, gotta switch the sides up each time.
You definitely got to do that. And the turkey, you can make different things with the turkey.
I made from scratch cornbread for the first time, and that shit was fucking fire. So I will forever be making a cast iron cornbread.
You know what I made?
You're famous.
Don't play that goddamn sound dangle. That was so nasty in my earphones while I listened to it.
That was so.
I
forgot to do the intro. That's what it was.
I mean, it's too late at this point. So go ahead and play it if you want.
Well, no, I gotta either edit it or not do it anyways. So fuck it.
just edit it in.
That's why I felt so weird. I just forgot. I forget how to do this fucking thing.
Yeah, you should make macaroni and cheese one day when you get out here, so that I can be like,
the macaroni and cheese.
To this day, I've still not had this allegedly good macaroni and cheese.
I'm the king of macaroni and cheese.
Only your wife has been able to vouch for, and a court can't even compel her to testify against you. So I don't know if I can necessarily trust her saying that your mac and cheese is good. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm an expert
on your spouse's mac and cheese.
I'm the expert in all macaroni and cheeses and macaroni and cheese sounds. I make my macaroni and cheese only by sound, not by measurement. That's how you make the best.
We have to move on. Thank you.
I'm serious. When I make it, I'm making everything like it's baked mac and cheese. I just go by this shit don't sound right. Then it's okay. It's not gonna hit good. So I think my techniques is what makes my macaroni and cheese so elite.
Can you tell the people about your techniques? What
No, Kyle, please. I don't want to hear anything about his fucking techniques, about his sounding. I don't want to hear nothing about nothing. I just want to move on to the next part. Follow us.
Mac and Cheese Boys. No, follow us at 9 to 5 Podcasts S on Twitter, Instagram. Also, give us 5-star ratings on iTunes, SoundCloud, or Spotify, or else I will come into your fucking house and stir a bowl of mac and cheese into your ear forever.
Permanent ASMR in your ear.
Like waterboarding. That'd be nasty. The views expressed in this podcast are our own and not anyone that uses cheese sauce in their mac. What's the call when they don't bake it? They just warm up cheese and put it into the
that's the stovetop.
Stovetop. Yeah. I saw somebody doing that shit.
Microwave.
Yeah. I saw someone doing that on an Instagram story. And I was immediately disappointed. It was another comedian. I was like, good. This is why I can't do like Friendsgivings with people.
No.
I saw him pouring like nacho cheese over these.
Okay, so I found out that is how in New Orleans, that's how they do their macaroni and cheese. So if you go to New Orleans and you ask for macaroni and cheese, it's spaghetti noodles with a cheese sauce. And that is how they give you macaroni and cheese. My sister, when she went to New Orleans, she called me as soon as she got it.
Came out
and was like, "What the fuck?" It's
at the service dropping it off. Like, hold on.
She said, I asked for macaroni and cheese. It was noodles. It was spaghetti noodles and cheese sauce. She said it was she said I would never ask. Don't ever ask for macaroni and cheese.
Did she send it back or did she eat it?
Oh, she didn't eat it. I don't know if she sent it back, but I know she didn't eat it.
Are we sure that's a New Orleans thing or is it just a restaurant?
No, it's a New Orleans thing.
Really?
It is a New Orleans thing. Yes.
That's disappointing. But everything else, they make it so good that
so delicious.
I'll allow you to make one systemic.
I've still never gone, so I can't speak on it.
It's very good. New Orleans?
Yeah, it's definitely at the top of my bucket list. Cities.
I'm trying to go to Essence. I was trying to go to Essence Fest this year. This was the year I was gonna go for Essence Fest.
I'm telling you, Essence Fest like 2023.
My brother was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna be doing some research over there, so I'm gonna have a spot." I was like, "Oh bet," so I'm gonna just come and stay with you for the week, live
quote unquote research. I would love to just be able to do quote unquote research and just super elite black play. I'm going to be doing research at the fucking BET Awards. That's niggas always find a way with work to finesse it. Yeah, I gotta stay.
He wasn't doing it at Essence Fest, but he just happened to be in New Orleans.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. You're saying like where it's happening.
Go to Houston and then LA.
South by Southwest, I think is happening then.
Right.
So I'm gonna be there during that time, and then I know that.
Oh, Coachella's happening that same time? Well, I guess I got to go to Palm Beach for 2 weeks.
Because they actually got a facility out there.
It's always a facility. Yeah, so they just built a new.
They specialize in exactly what I study.
It's always state of the art. And they asked me, well, I kind of proposed it, but they thought it would be a great idea for me to come.
I contacted them, but then they contacted me back and said that they wanted me to be.
I asked if they needed a guest lecturer on this specific weekend.
Black people love bro. It's so many. It be so many times your friends come in town. Oh, what you doing, bro? Like, yeah, I'm free from 7:30 to 8:42. Like, what are you? I'm here for work. Like, you think they just here vacation? Like, sir, you're on a fully funded work trip and you have shit on
you. You actually have like things to do.
Right.
They try to legitimately like pencil you into their schedules. Like, I have 17 minutes for you.
I can't stand black people, but I also don't like them. Speaking of black people and historical things that have happened with black people, a Black History fact of the day.
Yes, on Monday, or what will be Monday, November 30th, in 1924, political icon Shirley Chisholm was born.
Speaking of Monday, are y'all paying y'all's rent? Like, how do y'all plan on paying rent? You gonna do it or you not gonna do it? What do y'all thinking?
Yeah, I'm gonna pay it.
For real?
Like, unfortunately.
Why?
I mean, like you could just not pay it and they can't evict you. It really wouldn't be an issue at this point. But I mean, you gotta. It's gonna come back to you. Like you still going to have to pay it at some point.
Torrance, what are your thoughts? Are you paying your rent? Or are you not paying your rent? Or
this is the last month you can get off of eviction free.
I think that's like under the presumption that I have been paying my rent. So, nah, I mean, you know, we in the middle of a painting, y'all. We in this painting.
Yeah, we need a good eviction. Restore the feeling.
You know, I just
January 1st. You gonna see him?
I know something to make me feel like I'm alive. Something to make me feel like I'm living and I'm on this earth.
I'm telling you, just go sit. Either Dan, you can just look out your front window. Torrance, you have like a balcony. You can sit on the porch. New Year's Day, just do it. You go see a whole bunch of people getting evicted.
That's super exciting. I can't wait personally to see what happens with us. I'm excited per my last email, and we'll take a look and follow up. I'm gonna start talking to everyday life like it's a passive aggressive email.
I think you should because life is a passive aggressive fucking email. This is a passive aggressive ass bitch. Okay, I would be very clear here. I'm not pleased. I'm not happy. I'm not excited right now. I'm mad because America is really fucking with us all. Okay.
Yes, tight. Everything's fine. I said Black History Fact. Torrance Weekly News Update.
And like I said, America has been tearing us up. The panty is still going as strong as ever. And I need another chat. And I hate seeing on Twitter when they're like, Canada got $15,700.22. Germany got $7,800 a month. And I'm sitting here like, motherfucker, people are crying, dying, losing their jobs, ain't got nothing. But America, take your little $1,200 and get the fuck out of my face.
The fuck out of my face.
Don't you ask for nothing. And when you get in here, you better not ask for nothing.
you get in this store, you get in this country.
When you get in here, don't you ask for nothing else. You don't want the beg to come in here to this Toys R Us, to this shitty ass Toys R Us.
Put your damn hands in your pockets. Don't touch nothing.
You weren't even thinking about the American dream until I said something. I said
something about it. So now all of a sudden, now you see the commercial about it, and now you've been watching on damn movies. You all up on that damn phone. Now you think that you come over here and you can be happy and live the best life. No.
Go take your ass to the fucking army or something. I'm tired of this.
I'm tired of this shit, basically. I'm tired of this church. That's basically what I'm saying right now. America is really just, showing their asses in the worst times of our lives. I'm sick of their shit. LA County is on another stay-at-home order. Not as aggressive as the previous one, which is nice. Basically,
what is it now? Y'all just like have to be in the crib, or what is it?
So the previous one in April, the stay-at-home order was nobody was allowed on the streets at all. Like you could, if you were out, they was gonna pull your ass over, kind of vibe. Nice. In April, but or you had the potential of being pulled over if you were out past 10 o'clock, basically. But now it's there are no large gatherings. You can't really do anything. You can't, everything pretty much shuts down that isn't an essential job. So it's very similar to the previous one, but not as crazy. Because restaurants are still like seemingly open. Some of them are. Some of them had to stop.
At this point, we just need a national lockdown. I know it'll never happen, but
because as soon as LA County said their thing, people in Huntington Beach said nah, and went out there and was protesting.
Like, it's so fucking stupid, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna happen because hopefully 4 months away from like a decently distributed vaccine.
No, that's the first people starting to get the vaccine is going to be April.
But at least when people start seeing people can get vaccines, it's like niggas aren't gonna really give a fuck anymore.
And then everyone's talking about like this vaccine is basically like the flu vaccine, right? It's a flu shot. You get it, and you could have the same signs as if you got it or not. Like the kind of the flu gives you. You get a flu shot, I might catch those, have those same symptoms, which would basically make you sick. So it's like, I don't know if I got it. I don't know. So and the fact that it's going to be like newly administered is going to be crazy. It's going to be
vibes. What it will be. It will be great.
Yeah, and then of course you got. I mean, half of Black people don't believe in doctors or vaccines. Realistically,
Tuskegee syphilis study is a prime example of why don't nobody touch nothing.
Yeah, so I mean, even our people taking this vaccine is going to be a tough push for a lot of people. I mean, I know a lot of Black people still don't even get flu shots. So I mean,
yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't got a flu shot.
I get a flu shot.
I am your honor.
I do get one.
I think Ashley might. She does sometimes, but I do believe in science, and I believe in I believe that we should be in the crib. I think that it's funny that all the rich white people are upset and leaving LA, so then us regular aspiring people of color can move in and like follow our dreams. So that's going to be exciting. Yeah.
The only part a lot of people are leaving. Unfortunately, the real estate value isn't going to go down with that.
Right. Yeah. So we'll see if LA is an existing city, because who's going to live in all these expensive ass places? But that's for another podcast and another depression conversation. But I don't know. It's funny to see all these, like, we listen to the Joe Rogans or whatever podcast and hear all these famous comedians that are leaving LA and going somewhere else and like shitting on, I didn't necessarily need to be in LA to do this and that. It's like, yeah, nigga, you are rich and you already did the work. Like,
you're established.
Right. Like, yeah, it is convenient.
Financially, you were financially supported the entire way. Shut the fuck up.
Half of them are spending, 2-3 months at a time a year anyways, shooting a movie or something. And then the other fucking 50 or so percent of the time they're on the road anyways. So it's like, yeah, bro, but for the vast majority of us are not in that spot.
Exactly.
So like,
it's out of touch.
Right. For you to just shit on like a hub of culture is kind of, it makes you seem very out of touch, because a lot of us need to be in these places where we can meet people and do each other's podcasts and start shows together. Like, I'm thinking about Parallel Park. If I didn't live in Chicago and I say I lived in Dayton, Ohio, or even Cincinnati, like I wouldn't have, it would have been a lot harder to start a comedy show with little to no resources in a city that doesn't have a bunch of fucking talent. Yeah. If I did do it, it would be the same. It would have been the same 6 people every other week. Time. But I only repeated one person, I think. And that was because we were homies, you know what I'm saying? Out of the 8 different shows. So it's like 40 or so, 30 or so different comedians that I was able to get that were 9 times out of 10, like really, really good. At least 9 times out of 10. So it's like, I don't know. I think that whole, you don't need to be in these cities to do certain things is bullshit.
Danny, who was the 10th comedian? Who was a really bad one?
It wasn't even the 10th. It was like a couple like not great sets. And I've had
who were they? No, who were these people? Call them out by name. Yes.
I don't want to shatter anybody's dream. That's another thing that a lot of shitty comedians do. A lot of comedians that like are okay, but like say they get booked at like the Laugh Factory or whatever. Some of them will like shit on open mic comedians, but it's like, bro, you've been doing comedy for 7 years and you're like barely decent, and you only get booked at like little shitty, veteran halls and like the Laugh Factory in Chicago, and you have the nerve to like shit on up
people who are doing,
bro.
Danny, it's no fun.
No, trust me. Once I get popping again, I'm definitely gonna start calling niggas out by name, but I'm just in my lay low build.
Once I become one of those people that made it, I'm gonna do the exact same shit that they do.
No, I haven't had a haircut, so I'm just like on my Jay-Z shit.
I will say this: I did enjoy those things that you were on.
Oh, the
like in the beginning of the pandemic, like the Zoom ones. Those are actually kind of like, obviously they were hit or miss, but it was more like it's kind of late-ish. And it's something to do at the end of the day. You kind of get a laugh in, you're listening to people, you're getting a vibe, like people giving different types of energy. That was kind of like moments where I was like, damn, this pandemic is hard. This shit is crazy. I was like, oh, but Danny doing a set tonight.
It was entertaining. It was
good. Like it was like that, like uplifting spirit of like, okay, people banding together. So I agree. I think that like, even to that point of having that connection or even be connected to people in a city like Chicago, in LA, and in these spaces like this, it really allows you to create a platform or even a foundation for you to either share your talent or be a part of something that allows you to share your talent. Because if you wouldn't have been in Chicago, you wouldn't have been connected to these people that you can be kind of like them to be on, or you to be on their radar, or them to be on yours.
Right. So, and it's different from people that I've met and like kind of met and seen through those shows. And like now we follow each other on Twitter and stuff. It's like, it's if I moved to LA or like New York and met up with them or DM'd them, I'm sure they'd help me out. But that's a totally different relationship than some of the people that I've met at mics and met at shows, and we're waiting and we're having a drink and good set, great set, or great joke specifically. And we're like shooting the shit for 5 minutes or so, or we maybe never even had like a full blown conversation, but I've just seen them so much high and by. Like it's just, I don't know. I think this whole, like, we don't have to be in certain spaces to do shit. Sure. If you're a software developer or a fucking, whatever website coder or a remote teacher, I don't know, whatever jobs that are irrelevant, account executive, sure, you don't necessarily need to be anywhere. But I feel like within the arts specifically, I think there will always be hubs for people to congregate. And even people try to say, well, I'm going to leave LA to move to fucking Austin or Nashville. What do you think the fuck's going to happen in 5 to 7 years when all you rich niggas move to Austin and in Nashville? It's going to be the same. It's going to be the same shit. LA wasn't always expensive. San Francisco wasn't always expensive. That's what people do. You build dope shit and it becomes more and more rich niggas move in and y'all run the price up because y'all want Whole Foods, y'all want fucking pools, indoor courts, outdoor courts. You want your kids to be in private school. Next thing you know, it's all gentrified. Like I don't know. It's been blowing me a little bit. Niggas acting like, well, do we really need to be in these cities? Yes, we're going to need to be in concentrated places to congregate. If you're Joe Rogan, you can fly niggas out and you have a ranch and you're interviewing low-key Republican niggas anyways half the time. You don't need to be in LA. Go move to the middle of Texas and turn up. But like a lot of us need to be in scenes. Scenes are important.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. We can move on. Oh no, I'll say this. Trump has finally decided that he's going to let that transition happen. He hasn't conceded. He hasn't said, "Hey,
he won't."
I lost. Because he's going to go the whole narcissistic.
Will he ever concede? Do you think?
No, I don't think he'll actually concede. So. I think that letting the transition letting those transition funds like start flowing. That's the closest we'll see to a formal transition.
Yeah, that's
a formal concession.
Because it's like trying to convince somebody the truth when there is no room for truth to be accepted. Like people who are like, oh yeah, like I remember when they were like, oh yeah, Barack Obama was born, what did they say, in Africa, Nigeria, or he was Nigerian, or Kenya. Yeah, that's what it was. No, he's Kenyan. And it was just like, even with the birth certificate, even with all these facts, even with all this information, it was just like,
yeah.
No, I don't believe that shit. He's still right. You know what I mean?
Like people that don't believe in the factual truth.
Yeah, don't listen to like actual reason and truth. So for me, I'm just like, this is the most it's gonna be. I'm glad it's gonna be this.
He's gonna pump fake everyone with the concession speech and really just launch his 2024 bid.
I don't believe that. I don't believe he'll fucking run again. I truly don't believe.
I think he's narcissistic enough to run again, knowing that he's gonna mount his campaign, basically control the Republican Party. That's like his idea. His idea is to control the entire Republican Party. That's what he's done.
He's got to stay away from all those lawsuits and government investigations that are pending.
Because if you don't get locked up, in these 4 years, I would not be surprised if he does not.
Right. I think 4 years is long enough to press some charges of whatever he's guilty of. So I don't. But even if they didn't press charges, if he has some kind of deal or whatever that he cut, which that could also be a thing. Which I would if I was about to go to jail and I'm the president, I would definitely try to cut some deals. Like, look, niggas, I'll concede or whatever and go away and not whistleblow any other stuff if y'all let me just kind of whatever. Anyways, I don't think that he will run again because I feel like a lot of these Republicans have to think that, all right, if I lost once, how in the fuck could I ever Like, even if you did win once, but you just lost, how could we ever win again? And this is a perfect time to really just like find somebody else that is going back to the old school Mitt Romneys or the world, whatever. Like, look, I'm just a little bit racist.
That's not the Republican Party anymore. Too.
Anymore.
You can
They're
tell because so
radicalized now.
few Republicans have still publicly acknowledged that Biden won the election. They're all scared shitless of they're all scared shitless of an outgoing president. He's gone in less than 2 months. You can't really do shit to them, but they're still being bitches. So that means that something's gonna happen. You know
something. That's what I'm saying. Like he has control. Yeah, he has control.
Remember, 70-something million people voted for his ass.
So that's why I think that they're thinking like, oh, he still has that control, if you will, right?
If he could have shut up for 2 months, he would have won the election. If he stopped saying stupid shit back in August and September, he would have won the election.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think the election was a lot closer than it should have been. I just feel like they could easily find somebody that is the perfect example. I feel like is that Mitt Romney kind of guy. It's like he's charming, he's old, he's definitely racist, but like, and he's he's a Republican.
But he pulled it back, right? He pulled his racism back. Trump was in your face, never said, "Hey, I'm a racist." Just
he did, though.
Said why he did.
Medium to high key did say.
High key he did. But it was that rhetoric, right? Like that sort of like Proud Boy rhetoric, that mentality and those things that he said that really got the Republican Party like riled up. Like I don't remember who it was. Was it Kelsey? Who said something about like, oh yeah, the good old days of segregation? Like, oh yeah, like if you want to go back to the good old days of segregation, and it was just like, bitch, what?
Lindsey
I
Graham?
don't remember who it was. Yeah, Lindsey. That's why I said Kelsey. It was something like that. I said Kelsey Graham? No. Lindsey Graham. He said something about the good old days of segregation. Or something.
He won in South Carolina too. Yeah, he won.
He did.
That might be right. I mean, look, I'm not really trying to down this hill. I just feel like
racism is just strong.
Because I feel like what they could do with a lot of niggas that voted for Biden really didn't rock with Biden. And I don't feel like America is, at least in the next 10, 15 years, is ever going to be on that like Bernie or Andrew Yang train. So I think realistically, if Republicans are smart, they get their version of Barack Obama, whether it's a fucking black chick or maybe not black chick, whatever, young, kind of racist white boy that's 42. And they say, look, we're going to get some of these old Biden cats that didn't really like Biden and are low-key racist. And we're going to get everybody else in America. So we're going to get over that little 70 million to get our 80 to 85 million that we need. And we're going to fucking do what we got to do.
Yeah, I don't think they have that person in the can right now.
And realistically, the people who are going to be able to vote in 4 years, like, we are growing up in a very liberal, like.
But who's onto your point, Kyle? Though, who's the liberal? I mean, the Yangs, the Lindsey.
I think that
Stacey.
I mean, we're the Democratic Party that's been in power for the past 20 years or so has been pretty moderate, like very centrist. So I think that slowly but surely, though, some progressive things have become a bit more center, quote unquote, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So I think that over time, they might get bastardized from what they originally were as the ultra leftist practice or idea or whatever. But I think that some of those are going to get kind of more brought into the mainstream. Like a bunch of the shit that Bernie was yelling about from the rafters in 2016 has become much more commonplace now in 2020. So I think that it's only a matter of time. Some more of that's going to happen. And hopefully as some of these older politicians die out, because they're never going to retire. So when they start dying out, some hopefully new blood will
I mean, I could see realistically Biden stopping or quitting or whatever, getting sick, God forbid, and maybe Kamala running or regardless Kamala running, which I think whatever, it could be fine. I just would like to have a brand new person, younger person of color that really speaks to. So our generation now, we're the generation of the 30-somethings that the millennials that people think they're 18, but reality, they're niggas that are buying houses now, that are becoming managers, that are
millennials are like 25 to 40 essentially.
Yeah, now
right, exactly. Like
that's
we
like
got kids, we're paying taxes, we got kids in school, a lot of like we're that generation. So I would love to find someone that mirrors that a little bit more from an age point of view and understands Twitter. They didn't just get on Twitter because their staff told them to, but they low key.
That's how they operate. Like, and I'm thinking of like this true wave of TikTok, right? Like how like this younger generation is like all dialed into TikTok, and TikTok is like this new wave. That is the new social media thing, and it's a very liberal place. It's a very like, and so I say all that to say like people who are 14 in 4 years, they'll be able to vote. So these are the people.
But they also don't remember Barack Obama though. That's also weird. They don't.
But they remember Donald Trump.
Well, no, you got to think those kids were a lot of those kids were born with Barack as the president.
Born with Barack as president, so they experienced a calmer society.
I don't remember. Put it like this: we don't remember really Bill Clinton for real. Like we do. We remember him like getting his dick sucked, but like we don't remember like the vibe of Bill Clinton.
No. But everything was calm.
Yeah,
we
but you go.
We knew that shit went crazy.
You go from Barack to Trump. That's a very.
That shit is calm, and then you see shit explode and go crazy, and then. These are the stories that people are going to be telling literally for years. Like Trump is not going to be out of the media as soon as Biden transitions.
Oh no, he's probably going to be more in the media.
He's going to be even more about Biden and Kamala cleaning up the mess in the cabinet and everyone just trying to figure out how to fix everything.
Imagine Trump just having like a 24-hour Twitch live stream where he's just like roasting Biden for the next 4 years.
That's what it's about to be. Like that's what it's going to be.
He was running for president realistically. I mean, he's been in that trying to be a little bit more censored frame of mind since 2015 ish.
Even a little bit before that, he started birtherism.
Right. So what I'm saying is we've gotten low key the filtered version of, to your point, the filtered version of Donald Trump for damn near a decade. And so come February, this nigga can be like, yeah, like fuck that nigga, he ain't shit, lame as hell. Like he can be on all kind of stuff. And if he still chooses to run, it's like, okay, we already kind of knew this how he felt anyway, so we're still voting for him. Nothing else.
Exactly, that's who he was. However, that's what I'm saying. Those people, in this time, I'm not gonna say too much about this, but like, the people who are out here protesting the mass and out here doing these things, a lot of white people, a lot of white conservative white folk who are like, no, I want my liberty and my freedom, and I don't want to have to wear a mask at the grocery store. I want to be able to do. So catch the virus.
They want to be oppressed so bad.
You lay down. You lay down. You take a slumber.
That brother can't breathe. Okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Right.
Take a deep breath. Yes.
You take a slumber, and
something on your chest.
All I'm saying is this. I feel like in this transition of the world itself, I would not be surprised in 8 to 12 years that transition being like very democratic, like very.
You think so, bro? Very I'm telling you, as a nigga, as a person who, with even teammates that I played with, you had people that were, whether they were scholarship or walk-ons or whatever. I still had a pretty diverse group of people that I was forced to be around, and even the school in general. But long story short, I have teammates that a lot of them grew up in New England-ish area or so, or out west and shit, or even down south Georgia or whatever. You can tell like their silence means something. And you can tell that you think that all of it just because someone's younger or they've spent time around black folks that we're becoming a lot more liberal. I don't think so, bro. There's a lot of young 30-something people left with podcasts and Proud Boys that aren't 60 that are racist as fuck.
But
I think that like if you just look at like the election maps, like you remember like those big boards that were broken out by county. Think about how many of those were red, and then really a lot of the blue pockets were in places that were centered around like where there's like colleges and like shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's always going to be those pockets. I think the one thing that the Democrats realistically need to do is go after uneducated younger voters, because those are the people who are consistently voting for Republicans when that's literally against their best interests. Like So I think that unless like the outreach for who these people are going after to get as new supporters, because they can politicians can no longer say that it's the minority vote that didn't get them to win. You know what I'm saying? Like they're low key tapping out on how many minority voters they can get percentage wise. You know what I'm saying? So they gotta start getting some of these white people.
Yeah, no, the white women, all that kind of shit. Definitely, yeah. If they really are feeling saucy, get them a nice like 45-year-old kind of racist white lady to run. If I'm Republican, and it would be a blowout. If she can captivate and be kind of racist and be like, I don't like wearing masks and I don't like Mexicans. Don't tax me. I guarantee, boy, bro. That shit would be a land. That would be fucking the Kansas City Chiefs of politics. All right, we've been talking about this shit for too long. Sports.
Oh yeah, sports. Oh, poor little Tink Tink Nate. God damn.
Oh, that nigga Tink Tink, bro.
Oh my God. First of all, it was like, it was weird because it just, he fight like a silver tooth kid on the playground. Like it was about to be like this, like I wish y'all could see me on. Y'all gotta go on YouTube and see what I'm doing. It was like I'm about to get you. I'm about to get your thing, and it left his face wide open. Like it wasn't even a strategic. Like I'm about to just stay calm and do whatever. No, I'm mad now. And then
it was the
white boy.
The approach to rush him and get inside made sense. Since the dude has so much like reach on him, that's what makes sense to get the close.
But he was up. You know what I mean?
It wasn't protecting his face.
You can't charge it. You can't charge in
like
flailing your arms
widely with your chin.
Like, yeah,
that's what he did. If you're gonna try to get in, put your hands up and move your head and get in. Don't try to.
I took.
He was like throwing like over, so he's like.
I took one boxing class and they said not to do this. So that's all I'm saying. They just
had his chin up like he was taking a picture, boy. He had his chin up like he was getting his under of his chin cut by at the barber shop.
No, like it was very like a
little apart by my Adam's.
You saw all that.
I was so salty though because the first time he got knocked down, I literally was looking down to press like send on a tweet.
Nah.
And like while I'm looking for the send button, I hear him drop. I'm like, fuck, he dropped so quickly, but I mean he got dropped 2 more times. So I mean,
bruh,
it was quick.
The amount of lack of like, I don't know, man.
It looked like he did no preparation. Like he did not know how to.
Right. It looked like he really wasn't training. Yeah. Or it looks like he wasn't really sparring because you know good and well, bro. Like that's just boxing 1-on-1. Like if you are realistically fighting somebody and you maybe feel like you're outmatched a little bit, which that's probably his issue. Probably thought he wasn't outmatched.
Yeah, because of athleticism.
Right, and he probably is more athletic than Jake Paul. But Jake Paul's a
bigger dude.
Yeah, he's just bigger. He was taller than he was. He was naturally probably a little bit of a bigger person, and he has actually trained. And Jake Paul isn't. People have been acting like Jake Paul because
he's not a slouch.
But he also can't beat like a real fighter though either.
No.
Like he would get washed. He would get washed by like a middle road box. Like not like maybe like not even a top 10 contender, but just
he could be an
average journey
amateur box for a while. I mean, but. His professional fights have been gimmicks.
Right. They've been like YouTubers. Like Nate Robinson fought like how anybody that's athletic but never boxed before would fight. Mm-hmm. I think we all kind of thought or hoped that Nate actually knew how to somewhat fight.
That's
but
what the nigga couldn't.
That's right.
It made no sense.
The first one he got hit in the back of the head, which most people, if you get hit back of the head, you're not gonna be able to feel great.
I've seen stars.
Yeah,
but he came in so wild that Jake was able to time him with that right. And then when he slapped him that last time, it was so picture perfect.
I've not.
And I typically am not like this when it comes to niggas get knocked out. But the fact that them Proud Boy punches were so powerful. And the fact that he didn't have to do this, my biggest thing with fighters is, all right, if you're a boxer, this is how you feed your family. This is what you do. You're up and coming or whatever. You're professional. You're Floyd Mayweather. You opted into this because this is what you have to do to feed your family. Mm-hmm. You fought this other white boy YouTuber because you thought you was going to beat his ass.
Yeah.
You didn't necessarily need the money. And you just did this for relevance. And you got your ass whooped. It wasn't even, if it was a good fight and he just like lost,
nobody would.
It would have been like, oh, okay, but like
you could tell that he just didn't really actually train.
No, he couldn't have, bro.
He couldn't have really trained.
I don't know. I just feel like
or had any real combat boxing experience.
I had just started going to a boxing gym at the start of this calendar year, from like January right up until the Rona happened, when gyms closed or whatever, like in March or whatever, early April. And in those 3 months, like, more than like what he was doing. Fucking day one, all they tell you is keep your fucking hands up. He wasn't even doing that. So I feel like if you had 2-3 months of real training under your belt, you would know, you would have a game plan for going up against one that has 8 to 9
I took one boxing class. I took one boxing class from a group home, my nigga, and I knew not to come in like this.
Like, it makes no sense.
That's my problem.
But I appreciate the laughs. The memes are great.
Oh, I felt no remorse. I felt zero remorse.
None.
I didn't either. Especially when you have money. Especially when you got money to train, to hire who you need to hire.
It wasn't like this is a bum fight.
What you need to do. No, not at all. This was not I'm just getting started.
This wasn't we found two homeless people outside that said winner gets a Thanksgiving plate.
Exactly. Like Danny said, these are, it ain't like somebody said, oh, no, I'm boxing to feed my family.
Yeah, nah.
And like, you're not Gervonta, you're not like, you know what I mean? Like people who like, that's their life. And that's what they do.
They do this.
You know what I'm saying? And like now they have some money to put into their fighting. But in the beginning, they just did what they had to do.
He said he did this for the NBA. The NBA group chats had to be on fire last
Had to be. To be on crowd control.
He got hit. Yeah, he just looked so bad from the start that I was like, oh, this nigga can't fight. Like, it was instant. Within the first 5-10 minutes, I'm like, oh yeah, he's not good.
Yeah, no.
The way he was coming in, like I said, open, shooting out widely. He wasn't even throwing shots and getting out of the way or moving his head. Mm-hmm. And so when that white boy hit them with that the Republican poll watcher punches, I said, you know what, bro? He's not going to make it. He got hit so hard with them fucking all lives matter jabs that I knew. I said, you know what, bro? Where's Mike Tyson? In a way, the funniest thing was when he was getting up, he knew he was like disappointed.
The first time he got knocked out, he
said, "You okay?" The ref said, "You okay?" He said, "Yeah, man, I'm all right."
He looked like he got hit. Like, wait, this is real? Like, I thought
he got hit, bro. He got hit, and that shit was.
He was like, he hit me in the back of the head. Ref said, "Nah, that was clean." He did. Nah, he got
the first shot was
blood and shit.
Yeah, right.
Looking at his hand.
Sir, you have gloves on. He's not gonna, bruh. He was checking this shit like he got hit with a fucking prison shank. Like, nigga, that's just a regular conservative.
Oh my god.
Cut uppercut.
That was.
I will say the absolute highlight of the fight was Snoop Dogg, though.
Oh Lord.
Oh Lord.
That Snoop commentary
is a national.
How you buzz into a Negro spiritual when somebody gets knocked out?
I will tell you, man. We that celebrity death match shit. I know that it was fake back in the day, but they're onto something. They're onto something with this. I think Jake Paul's legitimately, like, he will probably beat most other famous people's asses. I will give him that. Unless it's like an actually decent trained boxer, or someone that used to, whatever, the Michael Jai Whites or so, whatever, people that actually decently trained, but they're actors. But I think they got something going, because even some of the lower, like, all right, these are real boxers and they're not really good boxers with the professional fights on the undercards. It was entertaining.
Worked at the boxing gym that I went to.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's tight. It was entertaining. The music was a little bit too long in between, but it made it kind of relevant. It was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I think them having Israel Adesanya was really nice. I'm a big fan of his. And then, of course, Snoop, I think, stole the show. So I think they got something going on here. Do I necessarily want to see Mike Tyson and Roy Jones fight a bunch of other times? I felt different about that fight. When I saw them, I was like, please, neither of them hurt each other too hard. I don't want to see. I don't want to see 50-year-old Roy Jones get
old. They apparently look old out there.
Apparently, this is from what I read. At least it was like this is like the beginning of this.
Right. It's supposed to be
there's this like legends concept of like these are legendary people doing their legendary like sport kind of thing. So I think it's supposed to be beyond boxing. I think from
it's supposed to be like different sports. I don't know how you really necessarily do it in boxing, or do it in like a football or maybe a basketball. Yeah. They tried things with the big three and stuff. So I think some sports it can work. I just I don't know if I want to see Mike Tyson knock out.
I honestly don't know. I don't think any other
like
boxers
that.
I'd want to watch do that.
Right.
I mean, like I wouldn't want to see George Foreman come in the ring, or
George
like at this point Evander Holyfield. Like
all these legendary people who I'm like, please,
because it was very different. Like Mike looked good, but you could tell that he's 54.
Oh yeah, like Mike took a couple punches and it was like, oh
yeah.
Like, there was one in his face. I was like, oh no, shit.
He's a cold-blooded nigga, but it's different. Like, and you just don't want to see regular boxing match. It's like if Nate Robinson gets knocked out, he's 36. He opted into it. He'll be all right. He'll bounce back. He hasn't been through those wars already. Mike Tyson and Roy Jones have already been through 50 plus 60 wars already.
Years ago.
To see any more damage, or do I need to see fucking Troy Aikman or whomever getting sacked again? It's just that kind of stuff. So it'd be interesting to see where it goes. I think in certain sports it would be dope, whether it's tennis or some kind of flag ball situation. I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. But I'm not really trying to see some of my idols get their fucking shit
face knocked in. Yeah, like
because that early onset CTE snuck up a little bit after last night.
Yeah. That brother was hurt. It was entertaining as much as it could have been. It was the best case scenario. No one really got hurt.
No one got hurt.
It was some good shots that were given. And you can tell they weren't trying to like kill each other, but they definitely wanted to fight.
They made it a show without going for blood.
Right.
It didn't look like a fake WWE match. Like they were throwing punches, but
but
it was a night of the culture though. I was thoroughly entertained. I'm gonna say that.
Absolutely.
I was thoroughly entertained. It captured the culture with Twitter.
I paid for it too.
I paid for it too. Yeah.
I usually don't pay for fights, but this one was only $50, and I was like, I really don't want to mess with a bootleg stream for this right now. And I was like, I actually watched all the undercard fights to make sure that I was like getting my bang for my
buck. I did too.
So I wasn't mad about it for a night of entertainment.
Yeah. I got money. That's what's up.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Basketball backs NCAA. I watched Elon. They look decent. They look better. I won't say they're not over the hump yet, but they look better.
Are they? What's the percentage of black players on the team now? I know we can have
it's a lot.
5.
Pretty much every scholarship kid except for like 3 are black.
Yeah, so like we're over 60% of a black team, right? So I imagine that they got to be playing better now, just off.
Yeah. Within the last 2 classes, I guess is this second class. I think there might be 1 white boy out of like 7 or 8 signing.
I like it. I like it a lot.
You said not today, Mike.
I like my basketball teams like I like my coffee. Black.
Yeah, they got some guys that are very young, man. So they got some project guys. They beat High Point in a very close game. I think they got a shot. Like I think they're probably another year away from being a legitimate mid-major like contender for the conference, and just like stealing some big games. You look at some of these teams like the Butlers or like the Wichitas or whatever that like, oh shit, they upset, or even like
constantly have
San Francisco's upset Virginia. It's like those teams where they might not be like going to be able to do that consistently, they have the athletes in place that if they get on a run, they can compete.
Yeah.
And I don't think Elon is they haven't been anywhere close in the past, athletically or size-wise.
No.
But you can tell with different glimpses, it's like, okay, some cats hit some shots and play defense. We now at least have some of the structure athlete-wise to give a little another mid-major or like a ACC team and run for its money and like upset some games. So I feel like they'll go 500 this year from a down year, maybe a little bit over 500 if they can consistently play. But I watched a little bit of Kentucky today too, and basketball is, we just got to see who's going to be like the team to watch. Every year college basketball, I feel like we're not quite sure unless it's like the Zions and those kind of guys. Like you don't really know like who's going to be.
Couple seasons we haven't really had one of those teams where they're running everything though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's kind of every time you're watching the game, it's like, are they really going to be that good?
And especially now with this Rona shit, it's like everything got shut down, then it was open, then now it's closed, but now it's open again, and we don't know if it's going to shut down again. So it's like, how do you even gauge?
So there'll be a lot of surprises this year.
How do you gauge your season? Based on like a couple games that you've seen. Oh, they look good here, but then also they look
It's just getting canceled, bro. I don't know what the NFL is going to do. Like no one wants to, like the Broncos, for example. Nobody wants to watch that. Nobody wants to watch the game's over now, and I think he went like 1 for 10 or one, like just not even close to what.
I mean, I think we talked about that when like they were first talking about coming back. Like, what if you lose all the quarterbacks on your team? Like they tried at one point. They tried to get a coach to play quarterback, but the NFL said no. Like
it's just not. It's not quality at that point. It's not quality. You're watching that. It's almost like it becomes wrestling, where I would have watched it just to see how bad it would have been.
Yeah, it's becoming the replacements.
Right.
Oh my God.
And they got their ass beat. The Broncos did. So I don't know, man. I think they're gonna do whatever they can. And the college is the same way.
Dollar can't stop.
Right. They're canceling college too, but it's just not really worth. Some of these games are just so shitty. Mm-hmm. On top of the regular injuries, it's like, we need to find a vaccine ASAP.
Yeah, ASAP.
In entertainment, the Soul Train Awards, the BT Soul Train Awards are on tonight. How many of y'all
the BT Soul Train Awards?
Huh?
It's BT?
You said the BT Soul Train Awards?
Yeah, that's what it is, ain't it?
Really?
It's made by BT?
That's BT Soul Train Awards, ain't it?
I thought it was just Soul Train.
I thought it was just Soul Train Awards.
I think BT now. Because somebody it's the BT Soul Train Awards.
I just didn't know.
Hold on. Let's pause here for a second. The fact that we don't know this and the fact that this show is tonight says more.
Yesterday when y'all listened to this.
Yeah, yesterday. It was on Sunday night, so the 29th. I mean, I think that says a lot more about the show than it does about us.
A whole lot.
I haven't seen a single tweet.
It's not
I
even
haven't seen
trending.
an Instagram story, a post. I haven't seen a nominations list.
It's not even trending.
Like, who's hosting?
Well, I will say,
Tisha Campbell and Tashina Arnold are hosting.
Oh.
You don't like Tashina?
I like them, but I mean, I'm not watching.
Yeah,
this.
I don't necessarily.
Yes, BET.
She's one of those people that.
Tashina.
Yes, I feel like we all thought she was going to be a lot cooler than she ended up being. Now that sounds bad, but I'm trying to say, which one was Gina Martin?
Tisha.
Yeah. I feel like and she just has I think she has very mom vibes, which is fine. She's an older woman. That's probably what she should be. But some people when we grew up with them before their moms or dads, we want them to kind of always be that personality and always be hip. But it's they're kind of sometimes naturally supposed to be not as hip as they get older. So it's I don't know if I'm really trying to see her host an award show, to be completely honest.
But the thing is, it's a Soul Train award show. So it's not
like it's
that's why I'm like, that one is truly acceptable because it's
good. And
that's your vibe. That's Tisha and Tashina's vibe. Honestly, Tashina always gave
something else, didn't it? Last year they hosted the same awards.
I think it may have been the same award show last year.
Yeah.
I think
I don't hate it. I'm my criticism is not to shit on her. I just think that for example, the Damon Wayans, that was her co-star in My Wife and Kids. It's he's still maybe in our minds, even though as he's gotten older. I don't know. I can't articulate it properly. I don't know. I just feel like she's just not like the I'm still here, like that kind of shit. Like we don't want to.
Right, that was hilarious. I think those kind of things trying to hold on.
Right, those kind of things put your brand or me wanting to hear from you kind of like it skews it a little bit. It's like, okay,
it does. Okay,
did we really need that song?
Yeah, because I don't know what you're gonna give. I don't know if you want to give I'm Still Here or if you're gonna give like OG mama auntie vibe that I'm looking for. Yeah, I get it.
Kids. Even My Wife and Kids was a fucking great sitcom.
Great sitcom.
She was older and was in that later part. So maybe that's what I'm trying to get to. It's like sometimes
I get it.
People make cheesy content and it might have been just one-off mistake, but sometimes it makes me not want to hear from you in certain settings. I would like, I mean, if she's in a show or something, I would, check it out. But an award show is a little bit not a character of yourself. You're still supposed to be you a little bit at an award show, even though you're hosting. So I don't know. Shout out to all the black people though that are making shit.
Amen. Kevin Hart, what do you do? Talk about his special.
This is going to be a long ass episode because I have had so much shit to say. Did y'all watch his special?
I have.
I didn't watch it yet. Is it not funny?
What were your thoughts, Kyle?
I thought it was a solid showing. I don't think it was groundbreaking by any means necessary. I don't think it was anywhere near Kevin's best work, but I thought it was okay. I thought there were parts where I was like, I would have cut this a lot shorter. I wouldn't have included this, but I thought that there were some good bits in it. Also, just kind of like knowing how we talk about comedy all the time, like I've started to look at shows in a different light, and so I was like wondering, like, did he even get time like to prep? Because dudes spend a year, 2 years sometimes working on an hour-long special.
Going to show to show.
I've even seen him. I went to one of his shows where he was working on content for a special and like content that ended up in SNLs. I've been to those shows where he's working on that content before. And with the Rona, I was like, did he get a chance to test some of these jokes out? Because some of them did not hit the way that I thought that he thought they were going to hit. But I really haven't seen many people talking well or talking good things about this special.
Yeah, I think people like to hate on Kevin Hart just because he's rich and like, that's how we are as a culture. I think we always, the Nate Robinson effect, like we just, when niggas are out putting themselves out there, we just hate on them because we're haters, whether we like it or not. So I think some of that is a hue that's over the whole situation. I agree. I think the special wasn't his best work, but I think it was a very like good special. But when you're supposed to be the biggest thing smoking, a 7 or a 6 isn't acceptable. It's got to be a 9 or a 10 at least.
Yeah.
Every time you deliver, or else it's like, why the fuck are you here? If that special came out to someone that maybe that's their first special, like, oh, this nigga's talking about his daughter being a hoe for like, oh, that's funny. That's a groundbreaking thing. But like, nigga, we've heard you talk about how stupid your kids are for the past, whatever, how many specials. I think ultimately what Kevin has done is he's purposely not tried to not be as confrontational as he could be, or as maybe a Dave Chappelle is. Dave Chappelle will sit there in front of a crowd of white people and tell them white people are evil, and why, some of that Paul Mooney kind of vibe, like y'all are fucked up.
His jokes are safe enough where he's not really gonna fuck up his bag. I mean, and granted, he had some like cancel culture jokes, and like that was like one of his big callbacks was like calling back to fucking cancel me for that. Like I'm in my house. Like what the fuck you gonna do? I'm gonna say what I want in my house. That was like the premise for his quote unquote more fucked up jokes.
And it wasn't his house. It was like an actual studio set.
But so it was like some of those jokes were okay, but there's nothing edgy there. You know what I'm saying? Right. He's not really gonna lose support over any of his jokes.
Yeah, I think that
outside of what's already happened to him,
trying to just play the cancel culture, anti-cancel culture thing is like, we all know that them trying to cancel Kevin is just people being fake outraged, and other than you cheating on your wife, which is really bad. I mean, we know that some stuff that you said or done it's not like Kevin. I don't know. The things that he said were bad, but they weren't like a Louis C.K. or Hart Harvey Weinstein thing that people are truly outraged. It was just like in bad taste, you might have lost love, but people are gonna talk shit. Yeah. So for you to try to make that the whole premise of y'all are trying to get rid of me or cancel me, I don't give a fuck now. It's like, bro, we really weren't that upset about everything. But to my point, really, when I watched the special, it's Kevin's MO, like I said, not to be super confrontational and super touchy on like especially things like race and religion and things like that, or even sometimes sexual orientation at times, or criticizing of whatever. Whereas Chappelle, he lives in those things, or even the Chris Rock lives in those things, or Louis C.K., those things are at the forefront of everything they do. Bill Burr. And so when you try to not touch those things too much during a time that is everything, social injustice, rights, girls coming up missing, all this kind of shit, when that's everything that's on TV, political, you can't get away from politics. And this special was supposed to have been made within the time that we were quarantined and politics and everything was going on. If you'd have not even barely touched those things, it's like when the Kim Kardashian posted a picture of her on an island. It's like, who gives a fuck? Like, bro, who gives a fuck if your daughter is whole like tendencies? Like, nigga, the world is dying. You know what I'm saying? Like, talk about that.
There's no observation or everything's very much in his own little like bubble, isolated world, and there's nothing to draw you into like you as a person. We as a people can't really connect.
Right.
What he's talking about.
Telling the story about us. You're at Jerry Seinfeld's house, and he's giving people stuffing top pizza or whatever, the fuck it was.
Brick oven pizza.
And it's like, okay, that's kind of cool, but like most of us can't relate. I don't know. It's just like you've heard stories. Chappelle did the Rick James story, so you hear stories of cool Hollywood shit. But like, tell me a story about something that Jerry Seinfeld did that was for fucking Black Lives Matter, was for gay rights, or something that's relevant to what's going on. I don't want to hear about you just at another rich nigga's house eating pizza and like you trying to then serve it to your kids and like not getting the same reception.
Yeah, I think I haven't seen the special, but even what y'all are saying, I think that's where he got his start from. It's being super relatable.
Right.
Like his relatability is what got him to be.
But I disagree to a point. I will say some of his early stuff talking about his dad being on drugs and shit like that. Like that's a very, this sounds fucked up, but an African-American Black inner city experience. Having a drunk dad with no drawers on and like, this nigga's high, and like that kind of stuff. Like those are things that the way my bank account is set up, that's a very, I'm kind of rich, but my bank account still really isn't on this level of the basketball players and D Wade. So it's that he has been somewhat neutral, but he's gotten way, way more neutral with those the checks that you get from being a movie star.
Absolutely. It's the Michael Jordan, the Republicans buy sneakers too.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. It's like he can't really rock the boat because even past stand-up comedy probably isn't his biggest bag anymore. You got to think of the 45,000 movies a year he does. Like, he's got to keep all those studios happy, so they keep booking him for these $100 million movies.
I think what's the term, the master of none, if you try to do a bunch of other shit?
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah.
Look at Kevin with just stand up. Okay. 7 specials. You're 41, 42 with 7 specials. That's a lot. I mean, Eddie Murphy doesn't have 7 specials. Dave might have 7 specials now with these last little 4 he's done with Netflix, like hour specials.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of hours. So that little bit of that quality gets thrown out when you're doing that much content, that much, 7 hours of jokes is a lot. That's a lot of fucking jokes. And then he has the Heartbeat Productions, and he's doing movies, and he's producing movies in his production house, and he's acting in movies. He's in a movie, at least a couple movies every fucking year. It's hard to be really elite in anything if you're trying to be this $1 billion thing. Like Dave Chappelle, he doesn't have a fucking podcast. Kevin Hart has a station on Sirius XM. Like, it's almost impossible to be really good at when you're trying to be everything. You're trying to be McDonald's. Probably at one point had really good fucking hamburgers. Then when you're everywhere, it's
everything
like now
is watered down.
it's
Everything,
kind of,
exactly.
I'll eat it, and through osmosis, you'll become one of the biggest chains because you're just everywhere. But it's like, do I really care to have McDonald's? If I had a choice over a Dave Chappelle eating, or a fucking Louis C.K. or whomever. So I don't know. I respect Kevin because if your MO is to be a billionaire, then my nigga, you're on the right track.
He's doing the right way to do it to all his volume.
But if your MO is to be the best comedian,
quality wise,
you're kind of doing it the opposite. Like you're not leaning.
He's hustling backwards at this point.
Right. Dave Chappelle, everything Dave Chappelle does is around stand-up. He's had the Chappelle show, he's done whatever. But that nigga, whether it's a summer camp or him doing little pop-up shows, is always based around performing and writing stand-up. And that's why his jokes, his speeches, his whatever art he's given us, whether it feels like it's not even stand-up, it's so profound because that's what he's focused on and that's what he's going to make his millions. He might not
Dave has 9 stand-up specials.
That's a lot. Damn, that's a lot. Are they all hours though?
Just about, yeah. I think I don't have all the run times here, but just looking at the list of them, yeah, these are except for this includes the Dave Chappelle 846, which was an hour, so he has like 8 specials.
I feel like he might have had another HBO one that wasn't an hour, like a 30.
His first one was an HBO special, The Killing Him Softly.
Oh, that's an hour.
Yeah,
I don't know either way, but once again, Dave Chappelle hasn't been on 4 Jumanjis and 16 other different,
and that was also since 2000.
Right. Movies. Yeah. Kevin really didn't get popping until like 08, 09, really.
Yeah.
If that, like, we were in college when he really got like. I remember being in college and like, oh, this nigga's popping. But that's 2010. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I feel like I respect Kevin. I think within arts, as y'all know, it's about what's your end game. And if your end game is to be that comedic rock star billionaire, my nigga, when you put out some stand-up specials and as Black people want you to talk about what we want to hear as Black people, when we don't hear that, what we hear about stovetop pizza and Jerry Seinfeld, you're gonna get made fun of because we don't hear that shit.
No Black jokes in there.
You know what I'm saying? We want to hear about what's going on with your family in Philadelphia. When we want to hear about, I don't know, a little bit more of the fucking cheating shit. We want to hear about stuff like that. Like he kind of touched it, but it wasn't really addressed. Then you got Dave Chappelle talking about getting his rights to his show and it's powerful. It's like, that's the shit we want to hear. Dave Chappelle wasn't really telling any jokes on that 20-minute snippet that he had on Instagram about the story about Comedy Central and how Comedy Central pretty much has the rights to the Chappelle show.
Mm-hmm.
But that was entertaining because it was a story, it was captivating, and it's relevant. Who in this climate right now couldn't be mindful of or sensitive to Black people having ownership?
Yeah.
Everybody could. Everyone can relate to that.
Which is why that shit's off Netflix now. And it's like, okay, yeah. And so that's why everyone was like, yeah, oh, yeah, he wouldn't get paid for it.
What's funny, I was legit trying to watch the Chappelle show the day that like
happened,
came out or whatever, because I know Netflix pulled it, but it was still showing up on my Apple TV app. So I kept trying to click on it to watch it, but it just wouldn't load. Mm-hmm. And I hadn't been on Twitter all day or Instagram all day, so I didn't know what was happening. I was like, what the I just want to watch the Chappelle show. Yeah. And then I saw the Danny, you posted on your story or whatever later that night, and I watched it, and I was like, oh.
So shout out to those brothers. Shout out to Kev. Hopefully either he says, fuck it, and I'm going to be a billionaire, or realize, like, let me fucking scale down and really focus on what's important. If the content is truly the most important. Mm-hmm. Long story short, hopefully he finds peace in whatever. Because you can go crazy trying to, even the little piece of content we published, whether it be shirts or live shows or jokes, putting yourself out there is very vulnerable, and getting feedback or people not liking it can make you feel some kind of way.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You are doing well financially.
All right. Yeah. And the last thing in entertainment, the Grammys, 2021 Grammy nominations are out. I'm excited for a couple things. I have my favorites, but then I also have what I think is going to Chloe and Halle. Goddamn.
Sister Circle.
Okay, they about to. I hope they clean up. I hope they clean up. I mean, I doubt Beyonce's going to win anything because she hasn't won anything in a while because they're just like over Beyonce and her black radicalness, I guess. But I hope Beyonce does win something for
the Lion King shit movie.
Yeah, the Lion King.
She put some kind of something else out, that video or that movie or something, some kind of visual.
Yeah, talking about Black is King.
It was Lion King?
Yeah, Black is King.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's the same thing every year. The Grammys are cool, but they always miss the mark on our culture.
Did people feel like that this year's snubs and nominations were worse than usual for like rap and R&B?
I don't know if
I was kind of getting that vibe, but I wasn't 100% sure if that was like accurate or not, or how y'all felt about that.
Like snub by.
Yeah, I think people just felt like it wasn't. I mean, I think the Box didn't get, Roddy Ricch didn't get some, whether it was album of the year or something like, and that was probably the biggest popular song for a long ass time.
It got nominated for best melodic rap performance,
and it didn't get album
and best
of the year.
rap song.
And best rap song, yeah. So it was
but
nominated for those
two, right?
But it didn't get album of the year or even rap album of the year.
Right. So like that's just that right there is like who the fuck was listening to D Smoke? Who the fuck is that?
That's that dude from that Netflix show.
Exactly. That's if you have to say that's that dude from that Netflix show.
I don't know a single person who's listening to any of his music.
Right. Exactly. No. Yeah.
That seems like an industry fix to me.
Exactly. So that shit like that, where it's like you might have gotten it 80% right or 60% right. When you just miss that badly, it's hard for me to really take this serious. So once again, the same thing we say every year. Hopefully, the people that are actually influential, instead of doing
the Box's song of the year too, though.
Yeah, but that
song
whole
of the year. That's
album,
for the songwriters itself.
Right, but the album itself was a fucking banger. People were playing that whole album for a hot minute. Not just the Box, the whole album. People were
how did Janae get nominated for album of the year, but not for best R&B album of the year?
Right. Or Summer Walker didn't get nominated.
No women got nominated for best R&B album.
Yeah, it's just like
none of them got nominated for best R&B.
It's like women murked this year for R&B.
Like went off in the R&B category. So it was just very like,
How is Kay Trinata a new artist? I don't understand some of these. I don't understand how they say somebody is new and they've been artists since like 2015.
We as the Black delegation, I don't know if the BET Awards needs to be the fucking destination. I don't know.
We need to pick one and go to it and just support it.
And support it and tell everybody, look, we're not going to host the Grammys. If they want to let
and I would be fine with the Black artists telling us which one they want to get behind. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I mean, this is for us. This is all just entertainment. It's. I mean, maybe Torrance, when you get to that point where you're really releasing your music, you get into that space. It'll be for you too, whatever. But like for these artists who are constantly putting out music and getting nominated for Grammys and shit, it's that validation is for them. You know what I mean? Say like their price gets to go up when you have Grammy award winning or Grammy nominated,
even Grammy nominated.
I feel like if they pick the show that they want to put their energy behind, like if they start boycotting the Grammys again, I bet some shit would change. I bet if they put their effort into the Soul Train Awards or the BET Awards and made that the big important one, niggas don't drink Cristal no more. They drink Ace of Spades. You know what I'm saying? Like
all that shit. Right. And I vividly remember the first BET Awards, like when that was like a thing, and I was, we got our first award show, and I think people.
It was major back in the day.
Yeah,
so
people
big.
kind of waned away from it, and
when Monique hosted a couple times, that
shit
was
bro,
like that shit was amazing. You were glued.
Shit was rocking. That shit was
glued to the television. It was amazing.
Absolutely.
And then it just went downhill. Like people got late, people got lazy. The production value went down.
Yeah.
Production went up everywhere else. Production value went down at the BET Awards. Then they started adding other award shows. Oh, this shit's gonna be fire. Hip Hop Honors and all this other shit. And then I was like, wait, but it's not fire.
Yes, it's all a bunch of mid.
It's kind of like you said in the very beginning, those shows are great. Yeah, like so I agree. I think that there has to be this consensus because at the end of the day, the Grammys will be the Grammys, right? Like
they will always be the Grammys.
The Grammys will always be the Grammys. However, we control the heartbeat of like pop culture. Honestly,
Black culture is pop culture.
Right? Black culture is pop culture. So because we're the heartbeat of that, if we make a decision and decide that we're not going to do something or decide that we are going to do something, it's written, it's done. Mm-hmm. We've decided it, it's over with. We're going to do this and everything is great now.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like people talk about the Rock Nation brunch more than they talk about the actual Grammys at times with who got invited and outfits and seeing pictures and stuff. So I don't know if they need to stop doing that or whatever it is, but we have this conversation every year, and I think we just got to either decide to do it or shut the fuck up about it. Is just create our own level of giving we have the podcast that we give, these people their flowers and in the rollouts and the drink champs and the breakfast clubs and all this kind of stuff. But from the award standpoint, it would be nice to see something that we don't feel as though 60% of the show we have to turn it off because it's like I got to hear Garth Brooks or Macklemore get his award for best rap album. Stupid shit, absurd shit like that. But let's get to the sponsor break so we can get the fuck out of here. This podcast is brought to you by Nate Robinson's Jaw. If you can find it, please email us at 9to5podcast@gmail.com.
A $15 reward, not $1,000.
You can find his jaw or his chin, either or will suffice.
I appreciate people who are willing to put themselves out there to get embarrassed, to be great. I do. I think I like people who are able to just say fuck it and do what they want to do.
Yeah, if I'm trying to be,
regardless.
If I'm performing a song for the first time and I'm shy to sing, if I'm trying to do stand up, if you are not a fucking boxer and you talk shit to somebody else to then box and you're already a millionaire.
Boxing is not the activity to choose to play at.
Go play one-on-one, my nigga. Go wrestle. Do jujitsu even.
Yeah, but boxing ain't the one.
Sir.
Fence, my nigga.
And you're not even good at it. If he was at least good.
If it was a good quality,
he got his ass whooped. He barely made it to the second round.
Mm-hmm.
He looked like an amateur fighting a okay pro.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna get these jokes, my guy. I don't give a fuck.
All
Christmas is here though. Christmas is coming.
Yes.
What's the plan? What's the shopping vibes? Are you going in person? Are you online?
On the internet. I had to buy new tires for Black Friday, so that kind of put a change in like my Cyber Monday, Black Friday shopping or whatever, and my Christmas plan shopping. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to buy a couple things now, buy a couple things in December. Space them out over paychecks, but I'm buying everything online.
Same. I'm not. I don't plan on
in stores.
I don't plan on running
into.
What? First of all, I don't like people.
Bruh.
So
I do not. We talked about this before. I do not like people. I don't like sales associates half the time. I don't like racist sales associates. I don't like eager sales associates.
I don't like getting bothered when I go into a store by sales associates, but I feel a way if they don't come and speak.
The other day I went to one of these off of Magnificent Mile in Chicago, one of the department stores. And when I say niggas did not barely say anything, when I went to the men's section, I'm like, bruh. And I'm so petty that when I go shopping, like, and I buy Ashley a decent gift or something, I will like not dress up nice just because I have the money. I'm gonna just wear maybe you might catch me some jeans and like a sweatshirt. And it's like, yeah, if I'm gonna spend, whatever, a couple $100 on something, whatever, whoop-de-whoop, or get a ring or something, I'm not about to be sitting here with a blazer.
Yeah,
if my money is good, money's fucking good, sir. Like I picked out when we went to get her wedding band. I might have had like some like sweatpants on and like a Patagonia. Like I don't know. It's just like a petty thing of mine is that if I'm going shopping, at the end of the day, these people work hourly retail. So if you to judge me,
breakfast at Tiffany's, these niggas.
If you, what is it? What is that? What is that?
An old ass movie. Old ass movie.
Is that somebody being racist or something?
No, she like just comes back into the store like a bad bitch. And it's like, oh, you didn't want to help me before.
Oh.
Basically, that's basically on the vibe that you on, like on some just like, oh yeah, bitch.
Yeah.
Like
when I go to a nice store, like I go into Gucci or something, I'm very like I know what I'm looking for, so I'm really in and out within 30 minutes more times than not. So it's just like,
I don't go to nice stores like that.
You said what? You don't?
No.
Like I said, a lot of people doubted me growing up. A lot of teachers said I wasn't going to be shit. So in return, I have to then
go into the nice stores and get the nice things.
My dominance.
Granted, Danny, you got 33 out of 50. That teacher told you wasn't gonna be shit.
Well, I still found a way. The thing about it is, people tell that story, but act like I didn't still pass the class. I passed the class. The class was passed, and it wasn't by a lot, but it was passed. Safe. 33.
I support it. But what are y'all's like Christmas plans? Are you gonna just hunker down?
I don't know, man. I think we're getting a little bit of cabin stir crazy, so we might. I don't know. We might go somewhere, but there's a good chance we don't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like we might not make it the whole full month of December just in the house.
Yeah.
This Airbnb or going to visit somebody or child. I don't know, but I know I have from Christmas to New Year's off, so that could be a time where we do something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't think I could be in the house that long doing nothing.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting month and a half, especially waiting to see how the Rona cases change over the next like 2-3 weeks post Thanksgiving. See how dangerous the streets really get.
I'm down the road trip somewhere, or I don't know. It's so fucking cold in Chicago. It's not even like you can spend time outside for real.
You know, I thought that I wasn't about to point it out, but I looked at because it's still on my weather app because I saved it for early. And I saw some of them temperatures the other day, and I said, "Ooh."
It's and in DC, it's like some days it'll be in the 40s, other days it'll be in the 60s still. So it's rangy. Like I went on a little like hour-long hike today. And it was nice. I just wore a hoodie and sweatpants and it was perfectly comfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Meanwhile, LA 72, 72, 73, 77, 72.
Yeah, which all lockdown.
But we on lockdown, but guess what? I can go outside. And it ain't gonna be cold.
That is true.
Your porch or in the parking lot. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. That's why I'm counting down till we touch down in LA. Because if I can at least hit up a beach or go hiking somewhere or be on my back porch.
Those are the best moments, yo. Those are the best moments. Like I haven't been taking advantage of that a lot, but like just go. I did it a few times where just like going to the beach, going to like a nice area where no one really is. You got to kind of find those spots. They're like Redondo Beach. It's a really nice one, Manhattan or whatever. Go to those, sit away from everyone else and just drink.
I was really bad at doing that when I actually lived in LA.
Yeah, I wish I did it more. I did it a few times, but it is.
But even to know you can do it does something to your psyche, versus knowing that you have no other option but to sit on the fucking couch. Yeah, it does something to your psyche. So I look forward to that. I welcome it.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
But what do y'all? I have a lot of shit that I've been watching. Now this has been a big TV watching week for me because I just haven't been watching stuff.
I mean, I've been watching a lot of. Obviously, I've been watching Christmas shit for a long time. I'm not gonna tell y'all how long because y'all
we waited until after Thanksgiving just to tap in.
I watched Jingle Jangle when Jingle Jangle the fuck came out.
I need to watch that. It's at the top of my list.
I watched Jingle Jangle. I can't wait to watch it again. I said I'm gonna wait to watch it after Thanksgiving again, but Jingle Jangle is it.
I need to watch that.
I want to get some nice black babies and bring them to the house and put on Jingle Jangle. Like,
come on, babies, come on, sit. Let's sit and watch some juice.
Get us some juice.
With some hot cocoa.
Can we borrow your nephew, Kyle? Get us some juice.
Nah, Jingle Jangle was it. Watching the classic black things. I haven't watched This Christmas yet, but that's
This Christmas played in our house already.
The Preacher's Wife is always that.
That's depressing.
That's my favorite problematic Christmas movie.
Yeah,
is the one he's dead?
I have very mixed feelings about depressing Christmas movies. Like that's why, like, I struggle with
that one. Isn't depressing.
It's
just problematic.
Dead, right?
There's some sad elements to it.
Denzel Washington is an angel who comes down to heaven to try and save their marriage, but actually ends up falling in love with Whitney Houston and basically tries to sabotage their marriage throughout him trying to fix him.
Exactly. And the whole time you remember, like, damn, Whitney Houston is also very dead.
Well, no one remembers, oh my God, Whitney dead, Whitney dead. No one's thinking that at the time, especially when I was. Whitney was very much alive when I saw it. Okay,
when I watched it a couple years ago, I'm like, damn, she's dead.
Or for example, like
he's dead.
So Best you Man do that Holiday. With anybody who's dead. When you watch the show.
She had a pretty public and / kind of violent death. So yeah, I mean, it's hard to just like tap in like that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe because I'm associated with that, like, because I watched it multiple times a year, every year around the holidays. So for me, I was like, that's like
just a little bit sad. Then doesn't one of the little kids get separated and his mom's like,
okay, all right.
It's not, so that part
is like sad, but like it all ends up with a happy ending at the end.
Okay, well,
it gives you drama. It gives you black drama. Like I said, it's a problematic ass movie. I never said it was.
I don't need that. I don't need that.
It gives you drama.
Some positivity.
Well, this Christmas is name one ain't gonna give you no problems. Name a black.
I'm just saying.
It ain't gonna give you no problems. That's why
Best Man Holiday. I've only watched that once because that is the saddest.
It's too sad. Like I know so many black people that love going back to that movie, but I can't. I don't know if I can realistically go. I couldn't go back and rewatch that every year. I can't.
I've told y'all that story, bro. I watched it with my dad and his wife.
That movie's sad as fuck.
And I legitimately was in the theater, like holding back tears in front of my father.
That movie is sad, bro. Like
there's just certain movies I just can't do. That's one of them.
That's a hard one.
Yeah.
She just died. Like, what the fuck? She's dead. Anyways, things I've been watching, Undoing. I'm trying to finish that tonight.
I need to start that. I've heard good things.
I started it last night. Very elite white people show based in New York. It's great, decent decent watching. It's a good like 3-day binge, hour, 45-minute long episodes. It's just good.
I'll lock that in this week. I need something new.
The probably the best slap we found, and this is with some. Maybe that was a hot take. Voices of Fire on Netflix.
They were there singing Jesus
that's
music.
That's the choir that Pharrell and his uncle are throwing together.
Yeah.
I
saw. It reminds me of you, Torrance, the choir director.
Oh, thanks. I hope that's a good thing.
Well, you watch it. Let me know what you think.
All right. Well, I guess I gotta watch it now. Be like, is that how? Because that's the problem. Whenever I say, "Oh, that's who you remind me of," and then I watch, and I'm like, "Oh, is that
drugs?"
that's how y'all see me. Shit, crazy.
You start looking at yourself differently.
Okay, start being like, shit. Okay, well, I don't want to be like. Well, I guess it ain't too bad, but if that's how I always been. Yeah.
It's pretty much a. It's a show about them creating this choir on Netflix. And the choir is like kind of mid, but it's whatever. And they kind of highlight a little bit too many non-black people for it to be a black.
Well, it's Pharrell.
Well, Pharrell's not even like the main person on the show.
But Pharrell is an all lives matter type of dude. So
is he really? That's a damn shame.
Yeah.
But so yeah, watch it. I mean, it's a good little.
Still one of the greatest producers in the world. So it's
I mean, that doesn't change his talent.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm like, you all lives matter. All right, we can still work together, but I don't fuck with that. But that's gonna be me. I promise. I promise. I will put it
Niggas got
aside.
half
I'm
moral.
gonna tell you this. I will put my shit. I will shut my fat ass right the fuck up. My fat black ass right the fuck up.
Yeah, they got no
I'll be
morals.
like, what? I'm like, you said that?
Torrance gonna be in fucking the Kanye's Wyoming ranch with fucking 3XL sweatshirts on. Yeah,
Torrance is gonna be the human Russell Westbrook eating chicken wings on the bench gift.
right.
Literally, that's me.
Tweeting like, I don't know him like I know him. I'm like, yeah, nigga, we don't.
We not really friends.
Right.
This
He's
is
just my producer.
work.
Yeah, we just working together.
You gotta separate the human from the art.
That's what you gotta do, man. That's how you stay. Keep a legacy.
That's real nasty of you, Torrance.
But you watched the full.
For goodness, who you are.
Voices of Fire.
Voice of Fire. Yeah, I watched it. It was like it was a little bit too like it's supposed to be a black. It's supposed to be a multicultural choir, so that it's supposed to have different races. But you know how they always have those, the deeper dives into some person's story. Mm-hmm. Almost all the deeper dives were of like not black people.
Oh, that's lame.
So it's kind of like, I don't mind it being
a gospel choir.
Yeah, a gospel choir.
Yeah,
I don't need to hear about every white person that's in the choir, their backstory. I want to hear about this fat black chick who, lost their parent to diabetes. I want to hear about that kind of shit. I don't want to hear about this white person who, oh yeah, I got in an accident, or I have low self-esteem and now I'm singing with black people. Like, this isn't.
Honestly, that's how. Oh shit.
What?
I almost said something that was very inappropriate. I think I've had too much to drink. No, we have to say this offline.
Oh, okay.
That's an offline thing.
It's a feel good. And once again, it's that like we got to capture all of America thing. So I don't think white people are gonna watch a choir.
Well, you weren't gonna watch that show anyway.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. You're right.
Unless it's Christian ass music. They love a Christian. They love a Christian rock. They love a Christian music.
Yeah, it was a couple black folks that were highlighted, but it just wasn't enough.
Not enough for you.
For it to be, not even just for me, for it to be a black church, everybody that's judging these people are black. Everybody there's a black church. I don't know. I feel like black people, there's a lot of content that could have been made there with those black stories rather than just highlighting some white folks. They didn't just, I don't know. It was just a little bit it was too much focus on not the actual source. It's like you doing a documentary on country singers or whatever, Korean BTS singers or whatever the fuck they're called. But it's like now all of a sudden we're going to interview some black people who are trying to do like K-pop. Like it's like, I'm not really here for this, but sure.
Okay.
It's cool stories, but like, I don't really want to.
What we're here for.
I don't want to hear about this black dude speaking in Korean, like doing K-pop. Like it's not. They're not necessarily that good at it. Versus the other really good Korean people that are singing and actually know Korean. That was me trying to weasel my way out of sounding racist.
Yeah,
Final thoughts. Let's go. Fuck this.
Oh my
god. It's December, almost. Hold on, people. The vaccine will be here in a couple months, maybe. But just keep holding on.
I'm taking 2 or 3 different kind of vaccines in my list.
I'm taking the Moderna. I'm taking the Pfizer.
I'm taking all them shits.
I'm taking the AstraZeneca. Give me the cocktail. All 3 of them.
I'm taking them shot. I'm taking them with that syringe and a shot glass. Like, let me go ahead and take them.
To the head.
Oh my Lord.
Mixing them shits together. Okay, let me mix this.
You said 95% plus 94%.
That's you gonna rock yours up? You go freebase?
Can you imagine?
You go freebase the vaccine?
Freebase the vaccine.
Oh my goodness.
That's
what you gotta get it into the system faster.
As fast as possible.
That seems like the most effective way to take the vaccine, I think.
Smoking a bitch. That's crazy.
More research
on that Moderna. Smoking on that Moderna a lot.
Oh my god!
The 9 to 5 podcast.
That shit loud as fuck, nigga. That shit loud. My final thoughts are understanding your true worth, knowing that times are hard, and right now we're looking for comfort in a lot of different places. But if you're miserable, staying comfortably miserable is stupid and dumb. And I did that for a little bit. I ain't doing that no more. So give me chaos if that means I'm gonna be happier in a couple months or a couple days. So choose your happiness instead of just trying to hold on to some type of comfort, even if it's as terrible as it is. So
yeah, my final thought is if you're putting yourself out there, be willing to be criticized and don't take it personal. Whether you're getting punched in the face or putting out Netflix specials or shitty podcasts like we are. But that's it. That's the last podcast of November of 2020. I think we're coming up on what some anniversary. Our first
episode was in
Thanksgiving.
20 was a Thanksgiving episode in 2016. So yeah, we hit our 4 years at some point this month.
Congratulations to us.
For sure.
We didn't already talk for an hour and a half. I was talked about.
Our first episode got taken down, so I have no clue what actual day it was.
It was. Yeah, it did.
I
Absolutely.
don't remember at this point.
That was so upsetting.
It was.
I wish there was a way we could get it. This probably is some kind of backwards way to get it, but maybe not. Who knows?
Yeah.
All right, Negroes. Thank y'all for listening. Peace.
Real deuces.